Hello there, everyone. Welcome to the World of Momos podcast. And on this episode of Reflections and Reactions, I just wanted to share my quick thoughts about what is happening around the Tory leadership contest and the repercussions or consequences of it to the wider political landscape. And yes, I also wanted to update you that the house moving is still in process, so I haven't been able to record any episodes with anyone. It's still going on. We're still in the process of it. And also it does look like my internet will not be connected till what seems like 6th of November in that new place, which is a bit of a shame because I am hoping to record a few episodes with people. Hopefully I'll try to find a workaround for it, get some reception from somewhere and work it out, or maybe make a hotspot of my mobile phone and hope that it records well somehow. Let's see what happens with that, or otherwise we'll just have to wait. That's about it. um so so that's why I'm gonna make this just one cut, no edit, so that it can be as quick as possible and get it across to you guys. I might try to make some episodes in quick successions in the next few days, so that I can put it out in the following weeks, but let's see what happens with it. Anyway, I wrote a bit about it on my Substack as well, so if you want to go and follow me on my Substack, which is theworldofmomos.com, and also consider becoming a monthly paid subscriber, because it helps me with my work. Only if you can afford, not really any pressure to it. Everything is there for free. Only the comments, the ability to comment on the anything that I put out over there is behind the paywall. So, now that we know that only Robert Jenrick and Kemi Badenoch is left in the leadership contest, so it gives a bit of a better landscape, because I have been commenting on this on Twitter when it wasn't the case that it was only two of them, and I was backing Jenrick for a while. Now, I know, so the reason why people might say, like, why am I bothering with the Tory party and so on and so on. So I wrote this piece on Substack, and it was basically written like, you're not going to like what I have to say, and this is the audio version, a bit of it, with additional other things as well. And the simple truth of the matter, as I wrote over there, is that Britain is not America, and our prime minister cannot change things by executive orders. They can't just come in and change a whole bunch of things, how things work and whatnot, by pushing out executive orders. And the states are not as devolved as well over here. So if you want to be real, and a whole array of policies would not be able to be implemented by the Reform Party, even if they came into majority power in 2009. And it's not just about Reform Party; it's about all the all the parties, political right parties on the periphery, right? So whatever the hot favorites might be, of the hot flavors of the day, even like something like Homeland Party, that might have a chance of coming into power in the next, I don't know, 30-40 years or something, if they establish themselves consistently. It's not just Reform Party, even UKIP party, or any other contender on the political right, because all of them, they will have especially Reform, they will have an incredible amount of resistance from civil service and local authorities, and simple because and they will get stuck. They will not change or even lessen anything unless they have been in the game for a very long time. They will not be able to change this resistance in the local government and civil service. Unless, let's say, they've been there for like 20-30 years. They've been there, as in they've been in politics for 20-30 years within the parliament consistently, and also have enough local councillors in various constituencies, and have changed their current leadership as well, which is a barrier at the moment. Like our folly, I think so, is in thinking that once we vote a party in power, the whole job is done, along with our responsibility towards, towards checking what our politicians are doing, towards making sure that they are doing what they're supposed to be doing, scrutinizing their little policies here and there, their little white papers here and there, for things that might come about in the future back to bite us, right? So, and pressuring the government where possible to on those policies, and helping those pressure groups as well, or supporting those pressure groups. We think that responsibility is gone once we vote. The real engine of the government is non-political, or rather it used to be non-biased, non-political, but it's rather unelected bureaucracy, right? And the way to get this engine to work is not by wishful thinking of, well, let's get rid of them all, because A, it will never happen, and B, we will get nothing done then as well. It is the cornerstone of how Britain works, or in this case, as we've known, hasn't been working or doesn't work. Now the trick is to make it efficient through targeted policies, right, and get it to work in Congress with the political will as much as possible. And you can't do that if you are unsure of yourself as a political party, as Tories had been when they were in power for 14 years. So they were sending, with internal party, like they were having a lot of problems within them, and they were sending mixed messages. So the civil service was able to play them against each other, right? So if you're not unsure of yourself, if you are unsure of yourself and you don't have a coherent ideology or a way of governance, a way of understanding, majority within your party backing the policies, then you'll be unable to make that bureaucracy work. Or also, if you have been maligned as a villain successfully in the eyes of the public or the bureaucracy, as Farage has been, right? So and as I said, like, truth is irrelevant when it comes to perception. You don't have to be a villain, it's just your perception has to be created. And as far as I see it, within local government and civil service, the image of Farage has been maligned so much that it doesn't matter. The majority of them are just not willing to go that far. And you can't just have that wishful thinking, yeah, well, let's get rid of them all, because it doesn't work like that. So I have come to learn that we need to stop being emotionally attached to political parties when it comes to getting policies into governance and the overall democratic process in any country, especially in Britain. Right? You may continue to disagree with me in this matter. A lot of people do disagree with me in this matter. Maybe they're not articulating that they disagree with me, but by their actions they disagree with me. Even when they comment, even some might comment over here, they might disagree with me in that matter, that no, but reform is the only way, or stuff like that, getting emotionally attached, but we cannot simply have what others have, as in the other countries have, because we are not those countries. We're not America. We don't work like them, and no amount of visual thinking will ever change that, at least not in the short term. So if you want to change certain things, then you need to understand how the system currently works and play it as best to your advantage as possible, because you don't have any other choice. The other choice is a full revolution. And if you think a revolution is going to be smooth, non-destructive, and it won't damage lives, then you're wrong. It can be really harmful, because we might push ourselves to a point where we might not be able to come back from, right? So that doesn't mean, all of what I've said, it doesn't mean that I'm batting for one party or the other. It just means that I prefer batting for the public, and blind allegiance to political parties do not matter to me in trying to achieve the policies that I think about, or think are going to help the country. So what I see right now is the new political right, who have become the same never Tories mentality, like the dogmatic left. It doesn't matter at all about the faults of the Tories. Obviously, the faults of the Tories are for everyone to see. No one can actually defend them with a straight face. But what has been the result of the constituencies in the north of England for having this mentality over the years, right? The never Tory mentality is not because it was damaging to the Tory party or anything, because it makes one dogmatic. They keep voting for Labour even though Labour has been betraying them for a long time, along with the whole country. Attaching emotions to political parties as if they were football clubs and had no consequences to the governance of the country is childish and is harmful in the long run, right? And it reduces the politics and the governance to mob behavior, to populism. And we need to grow out of that. We need to concentrate more on the policies and see who is backing which policy, and if they're not, then try to pressure them into backing the policies that are beneficial for the country. So that was why I was backing Robert Jenrick, because it seems like, at least on immigration, as having been involved with immigration before as well, he has more of a coherent message, and not just a message, but a policy to back that message when it comes to immigration. And he's not afraid to put it across in a way that it's hard to challenge him, right? And he's not afraid to challenge the opposition as well onto it, without turning the whole discussion into some sort of a personality attention grabbing circus. And also understands the value of establishing an intellectual base, as has been evident with the things that he's written about as well. Also, like I've been saying, like, we can have as much wishful thinking as we want, but the Tory party still has the political apparatus to actually deliver on the policies that they are talking about, or at least we would want them to, right? But if they were needed to do that, they could actually deliver on those things, as opposed to Reform Party that doesn't have any hold on the local side of things. So unless they pay attention over there, it's a good thing to have at least someone on the political right which can deliver on some of the policies at least. And also, I think so, it comes down to something much deeper as well, which I personally don't think that like, if you haven't been born in a country, that you should be able to lead that country. Maybe your next generations, if they continue to be loyal to that country, should be able to do that. But I'm a bit like, I'm not comfortable with that, and I'm saying that as someone who's immigrated into this country. I don't think so I should ever be in a position to lead the country, to even I don't even think I should even be able to stand as an MP, because I'm not a representation of this currently of this country. Hopefully my future generations might be, right? And try as I must, there are many things which because I haven't experienced as I've grown up from it, and also not having had like first-hand knowledge of a lot of things, not having lived those areas, or not having been informed about those things even from my generations before me, right? There's a lot of things that I would miss out, and that's might not be empathetic to the native population, about certain topics and the importance of it. And this is what Kemi Badenoch has somewhat shown, I'm afraid, that there are certain things that she doesn't care about. And I think so this is what Rishi Sunak showed as well, even though he was born over here and lived there, but it is that disconnection from, the ones before him. Although his case is different, he should actually be more clued on, because he was born here. Not just he was born here, Rishi Sunak, he actually lived here as well, unlike Kemi, who lived till 16, I think so, in Nigeria, so or wherever that was. So yeah, I mean, he should have been more clued on, but that was more of a, I think so, when it comes to Rishi Sunak, it was more of a class thing. He just wasn't brought up in that environment, or he had a more of a comfortable life, and he just didn't care about it. Didn't matter, those things didn't matter to him. And maybe he's more in line with majority of this country, not majority, but a certain section of this country who just zoned out, who was just indifferent to these ideas. They might not be bad meaning, but they're just indifferent, which means when it comes to crucial moments like right now, in the country's predicament, they just, yeah, they're useless, such sort of people. I think so Robert Jenrick in that way is not, out of the options that have been given, not just that his ideas are better, also that he will be able to work the civil service better, also that he would be able to motivate people to come out to vote and not have that low for voter turnout in 2029. It's just that aesthetics matter as well, and right now people in England need an English leader, right, more than ever, and they should always have an English leader, in my opinion. But I think so I don't need to go too much into it for you to understand what I'm trying to say anyways about this. And again, I a lot of people might say, well, I said before, the Tories and Labour have we need to vote for someone else apart from that. Like, yeah, we need to, right? We do need to do that, but I also see the reality of what it is. I don't think so people are going to straight away vote for an alternative unless the alternative has enough time to build itself, right? And Reform Party needs to concentrate on policies rather than just sound bites, and they need to be in the local they need to be in local elections. They need to stand over there, and they need to win a significant amount of seats in a lot of areas here or there, so that people can see them over time, that they do deliver on things, where local action is required, and that builds trust with the people. They need to do the work. You can't just expect people to vote for you just because you're bashing the two big political parties. So the reason why I support Robert Jenrick to become the Tory leader is that it takes a while for a new parties, or whichever party might be better party, to come into power, because of all those things that I've said. Until that time, you need at least something there to not have destroyed your country in the meanwhile, right? So mainly political parties don't matter anyways. Mainly what matters is, pressure groups that push parties here or there. So the politicians always change their mind. Politicians are going for attention. They want to keep their seats. So you need pressure parties to build momentum that pressurizes them into action on certain policies. Smaller parties can do it by taking away seats here or there, as Reform has done. So the Reform has actually worked as a pressure group to push the Tory party to go more towards Jenrick now, and hopefully they can accomplish that in that sense. So yeah, I mean, I'm more concentrated on policies anyways, so that is how we need to think about it. Political party allegiance is nonsense. It doesn't work. We need to be less emotionally attached to it. So anyways, yeah, That was my point of view over what is happening, and like I said, I might be able to record something tomorrow or day after with someone that I can put out later on, or it might be that there is a longer wait, unfortunately, till I can put out any episodes, any conversations or reflections and reactions with anyone. I've tried the new service that I'm going to get, the new service provider, but they seem adamant on delivering me the kit required in November. That's a long time from now. Anyways, hope to put out something soon. Take care of yourselves, and yeah, be good.